My name is Diana Wilkins, and I am with the Office of Student Academic Planning and Career Readiness. And this afternoon, I will be presenting along with Alicia Jackson Warren, and we will be talking to you about College Central Network and you. And hopefully, in this workshop, you will gain some insight into one of our new platforms here at Prince George's Community College.
Okay, thank you so much, Dr. Wilkins. It is a pleasure to be with you all today. For the purposes of this presentation, it is our goal that we will make sure we introduce you all to the following topics: Job Central, Intern Central, My School's Jobs, the Resume and Portfolio Builders, career podcasts and videos, career advice documents, the Experiential Learning Manager, and as an added bonus, the Maryland Community Colleges Jobs Consortium. And all of these are features that you will find within the College Central Network tool. Dr. Wilkins.
One of the things that's very convenient about College Central Network in this particular platform that's similar to other platforms like Navigate that we use on campus is that it can be downloaded to your mobile app. It's a mobile app actually that you can find and utilize. You can see the directions in your on the right hand side of the screen with how you can actually download the app to your mobile phone, or if you're using an iPad, Android device, is very simple. You just use the same information, just search for College Central, and that particular app would come up for you.
So, of course, one would like to know who exactly can use this wonderful tool. And we're happy to say that, of course, we are marketing this tool for our students to use, for our alumni, for employers who are seeking to partner with Prince George's Community College, and even our community residents. This is a tool that is free and available to all of those populations that are listed on this slide. And reason being is that because Prince George's Community College is a college truly of and for the community, and we want to make sure that we are providing resources of this nature so that we can be impacting the region as one of our strategic goal states. Dr. Wilkins.
And as Alicia just said, the tool is available to all of you. And in your case, if you are an employee here at the college, you also can utilize this particular tool. You might be in the process of looking for employment yourself. Hopefully not, but sometimes we're ready for a change and we really just sort of want to know what's out there. So you could actually uh, register and have an account in College Central Network as a community resident. And that information is on the right hand side. You would actually be able to see that information and create yourself an account in College Central Network. And simply, it's very easy. You would just go to the website and type in College Central Network, click on Community, and then there is information for you to actually set up your account. And it's very user-friendly in that regard.
Okay, so now we're at the part where we're going to start to get into the juicy stuff. Job Central is one of our first features that we want to share with you. And Job Central is one of the databases that is built into the College Central Network tool. And again, this resource is available to anyone who has an active and approved account within College Central Network. Dr. Wilkins serves as the program manager for the College Central Network tool. And so she's going to provide you with an actual demonstration using one of our demo accounts so that you'll get to see how to actually access this tool. And as you're working with our students and or community members or even alumni, you'll be able to show them how to access this resource as well. And we are trying to monitor those comments that are coming in the chat. So I apologize if there is a lag because Dr. Wilkins and I are, tag teaming this, but we'll be trying to mine the chat and respond as promptly as possible. And we appreciate your patience and understanding. Dr. Wilkins.
All right, so if you would just give me one moment, I am going to have to stop the share screen for a second. And do we have a technician in the area? Let's see. Let me see a second. I got it. Okay, let me just stop that for a second so that we actually can go into College Central Network. Also, I'm admitting people to the workshop at the same time, so.
And I will try to assist with that admit process, Dr. Wilkins, while you're pulling them up. So if anyone else pops up on my screen, I will certainly attempt to click on it. You're welcome, Adrian. Thank you for your question. And while we're waiting, I think, here we go. All right, Dr. Wilkins, we're rocking and rolling. So I'm not sure if this is me or you, but I just want to let folks know what you're looking at is the landing page for College Central Network. So when you go to the link that is provided on the career development and internships web pages, or you can go to this link directly by typing in collegecentralnetwork.com/PGCC, or from the app, it will take you to this landing page. And as you scroll down, you'll actually get to see the portals that are available based on what your entry desire is. I do see a question from Adrian regarding how can students get assistance from career development and internships. And I know it was sent privately, Adrian, I apologize, but just in case other people want to know, we are working remotely, as is everyone on the college, with exception of those individuals who are teaching the hybrid courses. So we do have our contact information listed on our last slide, and that is available for you to share with students. And we're also able to be found on the college's webpage, and students can schedule appointments with staff through Navigate at this time. Dr. Wilkins.
All right, so now that we are actually on that page, normally what we would be doing is we would be directing our students to create an account, but we want to make it available for our employees, colleagues here at the college. So you would actually go in under as a community resident. And once you click that information as a community resident, it's just going to ask you some very, very basic information. that you will be able to utilize. Now, if at some point that you become a faculty member user, we'll get to that in a little later. You would actually use your employee ID as your user ID. However, as a community resident, you can actually create whatever type of user ID that you'd like, and also be able to create your password when you go in. And so this information, the way that it would actually operate, it will take you to the main dashboard of College Central Network. And you actually, the dashboard is here, and a number of other resources are outlined. And so you can see all of the various resources, and we're going to go through those. And Alicia is going to go ahead and tell you a little bit about some of those resources that we're looking at.
Mm-hmm. And so the first one that we are going to share is Jobs Central. Here we go. So Job Central is powered by Indeed. So with this tool, individuals are able to type in what they're seeking in terms of a position, the location, or at least the distance that they're willing to travel. And we suggest using those filters to help narrow the search and make it more realistic. Um, with respect to virtual opportunities, since we are living in a COVID-19 environment, we do have virtual opportunities available. So if you include virtual elements into your search, that is something that would produce virtual opportunities as well. I did see another question come in the chat. I will see about that. Let's see. Does the system provide different assistance for employees versus students? Okay, great question, Tracy. Thank you. So what happens for our students is that each semester or term, we undergo a process which is called bulk uploading. So it's where we pull information from the college's system, from colleague, so that an outreach can be done to those students who are active and encourage those students to activate their College Central Network accounts, because each semester we have new students coming aboard. Those students are made aware that they now have pre-populated accounts, but they need to activate them. Those students who have already activated their accounts would not be amongst that bulk upload. However, everyone is encouraged to activate their accounts so they can utilize it. Employees who aren't students would be eligible to get one of the community residence accounts. And so the features are slightly different, but by and large, the bulk of the information and resources are the same, but students have the full gamut of the resources. So being that you are a student, you should have received an invitation to activate your College Central Network account. And if not, that's something that we can certainly mitigate. And you can operate as a student and utilize the full benefit. And I see a question from Barbara. I said something about making an appointment for students using Navigate. Okay, so this question was pertaining to our continuing education students who do not have Navigate. We do supply appointments for what we consider those persons who are guests, who don't have an active PGCC student account. And so that's something that can be coordinated through the Office of Student Academic Planning and Career Readiness. So where there's a will, there's a way. We can still make it happen. You're so welcome, Barbara. Thank you. Dr. Wilkins, I'll turn it back over to you.
And as you're seeing, while Alicia was talking, I just did a quick search just to kind of give you an idea of how easy this tool is to use. And what you can see over at the top, I just put in faculty for math and the distance, 25 miles. But of course, you can change that. Put in the school zip code, and then maybe say, hey, I'm looking for something full-time, and you begin your search. And of course, what happens is it will actually look based on what you have indicated. And as you can see, there are quite a few positions that have come up in the region that are related to, teaching, and a faculty member uh, in the area of math. There may be some other areas, but also you kind of see that there is math that is included in that. So that is the Job Central area that is extremely very helpful. And then we have what we call My School Jobs, and that pretty much operates the same way. However, these are positions that employers have contacted us directly, and we screen those employers to make sure that they are legit before we allow them a account to list things in our database. Now, the difference between My School Jobs and the Job Central is actually Job Central ties into, if you were to go back to, if I was to go back to Job Central real quick, but Job Central actually ties into um, a database entitled Indeed. And most of you are probably already familiar with Indeed, and you can go to that particular website. So if you saw a job that was really of interest to you, say for instance, here's one, it's a special agent, but it has to do something with math and engineering, but of course it's with the FBI, so it's probably high security. But if you wanted to see more information about that job and actually apply for it, this would take you out of our database and take you into the Indeed database to look up that information and actually apply for the position. But of course, when you're using My School Jobs, you can actually apply for those positions in College Central Network. And the other thing that's excellent about it is when we have employers that are listing jobs directly in this database, those employers can have access to your resume. So you could upload your resume in College Central Network, and they may see your resume and say, hey, this individual looks like a really good candidate. And as opposed to you trying to compete with thousands and thousands of people who are perhaps, in a lot of cases using Indeed, you may be able to, not have that large type of competition that's in front of you. So that is something to really consider when you're using these databases. Alicia?
Okay. So next on our list is Intern Central. And much like Job Central, Intern Central is really focusing on those positions which have been identified as internships. Oh, thanks, Barbara. So with respect to internships, I just want to put that out here just so everyone understands what we're talking about. Not only does Prince George's Community College afford students credit internships, which, as you can imagine, are necessary to complete their degree programs and possibly even some certificate programs, but we also have non-credit internship opportunities available as well. So if a student is interested in a credit internship program, we have some guidelines that must be honored in order for them to participate. But of course, part of that involves them identifying an internship that would meet the qualifications of the department. And what I mean by department is the academic department where the credit is to be earned. It must be approved by the department in order for that student to be given the green light to move forward and actually take on the internship position. So with Intern Central, students can search for bona fide internships so that based on their curriculum and their interests, they can find what would be a good fit for them to gain the requisite knowledge and skills to position them well to enter into the workforce once they complete their studies. And so I see, Dr. Wilkins, you did an example for, was it cybersecurity or something along those lines?
Yeah, we have an example here, and I believe. Oh yeah, I'm sorry. What are you all seeing now? Can you tell me
We
what
still
you're
see
seeing?
Intern Central and a couple of examples of positions based on
Oh,
what was
okay.
entered.
Yes, there are. Yeah, we do have, um, as Alicia was saying, quite a few uh, opportunities for students to get internships with various employers. And we emphasize the fact that we want students to start early looking for an internship. Because one of the things that we're doing with this particular database is we are collecting all types of opportunities that students are utilizing in terms of work, whether it be internships, if they're doing clinicals, if they're doing field experiences, service learning experiences. All of this information is being gathered in this particular platform. So, with the internship and the internship program, we definitely want our students to get started early with that. And one of the ways that they can do actually get into that is to begin to utilize some of the other resources in the system. And one is the resume. And Alicia, do you want to talk more about that?
Sure. Now, this particular tool is very keen on career development. And part of marketing one's skills, abilities, knowledge, what have you, is of course the tool crafted by one's resume. You know, your resume is your calling card. It lets people know what it is that you do well, or at least so much you think you do well. And so there are people who struggle with creating a resume. They're not really sure, well, what do I put on it? How do I organize it? Where do I even begin? Well, we've got some help for you. Within College Central Network, you don't have to struggle anymore. We have a resume builder right in College Central Network. And this will help you to create a resume if you have no idea what to do in terms of creating a resume. It will organize it for you so you don't have to figure out, well, how do I format it? What goes first? What goes second? Nope, it'll take care of that. It's a template. So you're essentially entering information. And of course, when you create your College Central Network account, your profile information is going to be imported into this document. So that's one less thing that you have to enter. But in terms of your experience, your knowledge, that type of information, that's going to be customized using this tool. And once it's created, you'll be able to save that document within College Central Network and utilize that document within the platform. And then you can also download that document and use it externally. So you have multiple options in terms of using the resume builder tool to create your resume and to market your resume once it's crafted. Now, keep in mind, we recently had our very first virtual career and internship fair. And in order to participate in the fair, individuals had to have completed, submitted, and had an approved resume. And that resume had to have gone through College Central Network for the staff within career development and internships to review and approve. Now, in the cases where a resume is not approved, feedback is provided and suggestions are given so that adjustments can be made and the individual has an opportunity to um, resubmit their resume for further consideration. And as Dr. Wilkins also shared, those employers who have been approved in our system as partnering employers have the opportunity to also search for candidates based on what their recruitment needs are. So if you have that resume handy, it makes the employer who's looking for you have an easier time in finding you and able to reach out to you to consider you for an interview and possibly even for hiring for either an internship or a standard position. Dr. Wilkins.
Okay, and as you can see, I was just showing you a few examples, a couple examples of resumes that can be created in College Central Network. And also you can see over here to the right this is very helpful because it'll give students some examples that they can utilize based on whatever their particular curriculum is in College Central Network. And in addition to the resume itself, we also have what we call the career portfolio. And this is very, very helpful to students because primarily a lot of our students are in programs where beyond the resume, they need a portfolio to be able to create, to market themselves to employers. And so even yourself, you may need to, many faculty members may need to create their own portfolio, and that can be done in College Central Network. And as you can see, it would actually walk you through a step-by-step process of how to create your portfolio, which is really great. And it'll give you some things that you may need to be adding to your portfolio. And it has the ability to put in graphic images, of course, PDF files, and various types of videos that can be added to your portfolio. And if an employer is looking for someone with your particular skill type, even your portfolio itself can be uploaded into College Central Network.
And if I may add, Dr. Wilkins, for those of you who are serving as faculty members on this call, you may actually consider incorporating the development of both the resume and the portfolio as a part of your culminating activity courses. Um, it is certainly not unfounded for programs to see the importance of career development, and this gives our students the edge when it comes to competing in the workforce. So if you incorporate the creation of a resume and ideally a portfolio, that will help our students to best market themselves for opportunities. For those programs, particularly the AAS programs, it's all about demonstrating skills and abilities. This portfolio tool will help you to capture that in such a way that employers will be impressed. For example, our culinary arts programs. Who wouldn't want to look at some tasty dishes? And I'm like, okay, you can cook like this. I think we want to hire you. Or if you're in the performing arts and they're looking for individuals for an upcoming presentation and you've done a production, well, showing your skill set and your abilities would probably get you in a position to where someone wouldn't have to wonder about your abilities. They've seen it for themselves and they're like, you have great potential. We want to hire you. So the more you can show versus just tell, that gives you the edge over so much more competition. So show and prove in those portfolios, folks. Encourage your students. And as for faculty members, if you don't have a portfolio and you're seeking tenure, hey, this is your way to get that together so that you'll be well positioned to apply for tenure. Dr. Wilkins.
Yes, and I agree. I would just want to emphasize that too. We will probably be having a campaign for students to do their resumes and portfolios. And so, as Alicia was saying, if you can incorporate that exercise in your classes, it does not matter what the curriculum is, because students need to begin that process even early on, even in their first semester. It does not hurt to have a resume, because one of the nice things about this particular tool is that you can use it currently and after you graduate as an alumni. And excuse me, because a plane is flying over my house. So
Same
that
here.
rarely happens, but one is flying over my house today. So that's the noise that you heard in the background.
We're
And it's
neighbors.
probably coming from Andrews, because that's when it gets really loud. Okay.
Absolutely, absolutely.
So let's go on so we can look at the career podcast. And this particular tool is really nice because it's of course, like if, as we said, that College Central Network is downloadable. You can use an app on your phone for it. So they have created a number of podcasts so that as you're, going about and so forth, you can listen to podcasts on a variety of topics. I mean, it's topics from A to Z, the career portfolio itself. And most of the podcasts are really, kind of really, really, really short. This one's like 6 minutes and 48 seconds. Um, but again, I'm sure you can't hear it now, but you would, like I said, it's very short. And you can even get your students to begin to utilize the podcasts that are in College Central Network, because there are so many different topics. The topics that go on in terms of like the cover letter. Sometimes students are, stomped by that. And the nice thing about this is that, we have people that are learners in all different fashions. Some people learn, auditorily. They have to listen to things and they learn that way. Others are visual and some are tactile. But, this is really great for auditory learners. Just to get this information, in their head in terms of, how to do the resume, what things that you should and should not do, and so forth. So that's another excellent tool that is in this particular database.
Mhm. And I just want to stress this is free, y'all. And as I tell my students, free is always in the budget.
That is true. Free is definitely always in the budget. And we want to again talk about the other resources. Let me just go back here. I'm going to show this to you in a second. We're going to go on and so that you can see go back to the main dashboard so that you can see some of the career documents. Okay, Alicia, you want to go ahead and talk about that area?
Okay, so the career documents area is where anyone who's searching can find topical information, and it takes a deeper dive answering some of your commonly asked questions about certain topics and providing guidance on how to understand and approach certain topics. For example, this particular one on your career portfolio talks about the information that one would need to compile, because there is a process that you go through in creating a portfolio. I would say as part of my graduate studies, I had to put together a couple of portfolios, and those were very large binders. The beauty of this electronic portfolio is that it's highly portable. You don't have to worry about lugging that around or finding sheet protectors in a large enough 3-ring binder. None of that. You will be able to put all of your artifacts in an electronic format and save it, and it will be available to share with anyone who's interested through College Central Network. So again, the documents is chock full of information to really address questions and concerns as a job seeker would have, and give some very up-to-date guidance on how to navigate the world of work. Back to you, Dr. Wilkins.
All right. And we have a number of others that you can see. Of course, we have like the resume and so forth. Tons of others that are actually in this particular database. And I think that, this is something that's really great because you can download it and actually put it on your Blackboard site for students. So if you did decide that you wanted to make this an assignment for students in your class, you can look through that information, download it, and they will be able to have, a guide that they can actually use when producing a resume or their portfolio. So it's really very, very helpful information. Now we're going to go on to back to the dashboard again, and we're going to look at a couple other things. One is just so that you know that we also always list whatever the basically events and announcements and things that are going on here at the college, announcements that also when there are recruitments, special recruitments, many of you may have recalled that at sometimes we would have tables set up with recruiters. Well, now we're in this virtual world, and so we actually will have employers that will come to our virtual platform and actually be interested in talking to our students. So we'll always be posting this information. We want the college community just to familiarize themselves and just know when you ever get an email or an announcement from College Central, open it up. Don't throw it into junk mail, because it's going to have a lot of wonderful information, announcements that you basically can take advantage of as an employee. Now, another thing, now this particular information is actually not showing on this page, so I'm going to go into the page again, but I'm going to go in as a student this go round. And so as a student, oh, now I've got to change the password. Okay.
Mhm.
Oh, here it is. There we go. All right. And so now I'm signing in as a student. And as you can see, a community member has everything, but the only thing that the community member does not have is our experiential learning database. And as I said a little bit earlier, the college has decided, hey, we want to know where our students are working, what type of experiences they're getting. And so we are housing all of this information in College Central Network. And in our career programs here at Prince George's Community College, most of our career programs actually have some type of experiential learning um, activity in them. So there's usually some type of course that students are involved in through college, through their academic program of study. And as you can see, you have a long list here of various programs here at the college. And through these programs, students will be able to either do an internship experience, or perhaps they may be doing a clinical or field experience, service learning, one of these other areas. And all of this information is kept in College Central Network under the experiential learning. Now, if you had a student that said to you, hey, I want to do an internship, I want to get, maybe my major is human services and I want to get some experience in human services. When they log into College Central Network, they can just click on experiential learning. This particular page would come up, look for their particular program, click on that program, and it would actually tell them specifically what are the eligibility requirements for that student to do an internship. So if you were a human services major, this would give you what the eligibility requirements are, your minimum GPA, and the courses that you need to take in order to do that. Now, at one point for our years ago, for those of you who have been around for a while, um, we had across the board criteria for internships, but we have changed that because we realized that each program is different. And so we wanted to make sure that students had those skills and those courses under their belt before they actually started the internship process. And with this information listed here, a student can look at their program, see what their requirements are, and then go through the step-by-step process. once the student has secured an internship, they would actually fill this information out of who they're working for, and that information will be transmitted to the department chair in their area. The department chair will determine whether or not that student can be approved for an internship. If they are approved, our office will register the student to receive internship credit, and the student would be assigned a faculty sponsor, and that will be the individual who will assist them in developing their learning objectives, working with them with their um, employer, the site supervisor, for a entire semester, and give them assignments related to their internship and provide their final grade. So that would be the role of the faculty sponsor, who would be working with the student uh, for the with the internship process. And so we just started this fall, and actually, I shouldn't even say this fall. We actually had started it. We were sort of piloting it really this fall, but we did very well. We got a lot of students in the system who were actually doing internships, and some of our students that were doing clinicals. And so in the spring, we're going to be very, very busy. We've already gotten students who have secured their internship opportunities. And that's something that is super important. Alicia, you may want to go over the dates, tell them the dates of when they need to definitely start. Well, we have our little dates in mind, but we like students to apply early. But when you're talking to your students, just say to them, you want to do an internship in the spring or the summer? Okay, now it's time for you to get started. Have you logged in the College Central Network? Is your resume done? Those kind of questions. Okay, Alicia, back to you. You could kind of maybe throw that information about the deadlines and so forth.
Well, I will say this, that our deadlines are somewhat flexible in the sense that we understand sometimes it takes an employer to make a decision on a candidate for students who have applied to positions. However, the position has to be approved and the student has to secure the position before the first day of class for the experiential learning course. So many of our internship courses for credit start about the 15th of the first month of the semester. So in order for that student to undergo the registration process, the student has to have had the position approved through the department and be registered no later than the first day that that course begins. Now, as you can imagine, any process involving external parties requires time factored in. So that's why it's critical for students not to wait until the same month that they're trying to enroll in an internship class to start the process, because employers take time in their recruitment and hiring processes. So for students who are trying to do an internship for the spring semester, we certainly invite them to start now and really getting it going by November to get in a position to where they will be selected for a position. And once they have been selected, then the process becomes very easy in terms of data entry. And that's the other beauty of College Central Network. Again, for those of you who've been at the college for a while, you remember that we were using paper internship kits. And there was a whole lot of back and forth with signatures and information that may or may not get to people who need it in enough time to make decisions. This is an electronic process. So for the tree huggers out there, we're not killing trees. We're using technology to capture this information and make it more expeditious for approval purposes. So even if someone was not on campus, as we are not for most of us, they can still manage these approval processes utilizing technology. So the driving point here is, please encourage those individuals who are seeking particularly credit internship experiences to begin the process of searching and securing the position well before the month in which the course that they'll be taking begins, because they need to have secured the position before the month that their course begins in order for us to process everything in a timely fashion. Dr. Wilkins?
Yes, and then also, just to basically, like I said, just to add to that, it's so important for them to get started. And we've had so many students say to me, they've said, hey, it's COVID-19, nobody's hiring. Yes, employers are actually hiring. You'd be surprised at the numbers of employers that are actually hiring at this time. So just keep that in mind that just because it is COVID-19, we are um, we are seeing a lot of employers. We had 55 employers that participated in our virtual career and internship week uh, just a couple weeks ago. So they are actively hiring. People have gotten accustomed to working from home, and they will work with students. If the position is a position that requires um, an office type setting, you'll find that many of the employers will allow the student to work from home virtually. Of course, we know just for ourselves when we are out, we know, of course, when it's things that are related to businesses like retail and hospitality, restaurants, and things of that nature, that they are on site. But other areas that, what we call like desk jobs or that kind of thing, um, they are definitely hiring. So keep that in mind. Alicia?
Okay, I'm sorry.
Wait a
I
minute.
was responding to chat questions. I apologize. I was in the
Okay.
midst of doing that. So I got a little distracted. I'm
And
on
we're
my
going to
stuff,
get to
folks.
that last. Yeah. We'll hop over to this. Okay. Here we go.
All right. So for the Maryland Community Colleges Jobs Consortium, I definitely want to bring everyone's attention to this. This is one of the beauties of College Central Network. College Central Network recognizes there is strength in togetherness. And as one of 16 community colleges in the state of Maryland, there are a number of us, and I mean community colleges, that are using College Central Network. That's how we create the network. And as you can imagine, we have employers who are seeking great candidates for opportunities. And we want to make it easy for employers to find students and community members and alumni. And of course, we want them to find Prince George's Community College affiliates. So, with the Maryland Community College Job Consortium, employers can create their accounts and have their positions listed, and their positions are available to our students, and they are also able to see our students. So it's the entire state of Maryland and even beyond for those employers that are seeking candidates from to and take on opportunities beyond the state of Maryland. They will be privy to these opportunities. So it's a win for everybody who is participating in College Central Network. There is no cost to our employers who are a part of the consortium. So that saves them money, and the money saved obviously would be ideal for them creating paid opportunities, especially for internships, because we know for economic purposes, some finance helps, especially students who are trying to complete coursework. So this is another way that we're trying to make that regional impact, is by working collaboratively with our colleagues at our sister community colleges, and of course, partnering with our employers throughout the state of Maryland. Dr. Wilkins.
Okay, so basically that concludes our presentation. And please, we would open it up for questions. If anyone has any specific questions about College Central Network, we would definitely like to hear those. We probably want to put in the chat box the URL so that they could go directly to College Central Network. But are there any specific questions that anyone has?
I just think it's phenomenal, wonderful. I'm so excited. I cannot wait to create something to give to all my faculty. You guys are going to hate me because I've already said something to Michael Smith and said they need to be at our next Zoom credit STEM meeting. They need to be at our next I'm just so excited. I cannot wait. I hope you guys are not like overloaded by a gazillion people going on and creating accounts, but you guys are doing phenomenal.
No.
And I don't think enough people know about it. I think you're a gem. You're a gem to the college. You're a great hidden secret.
And that's the thing. We don't want to be a secret. Everybody who is on this call right now, we need you to tell at least 5 more people about College Central Network. You can say, have y'all heard about College Central Network? Look, let me tell you.
I know.
This session for College Professional Development and Enrichment Day. And by the way, if y'all are on social media, can y'all hashtag that? Put something out there about this here. And let them know. Y'all need to get on this College Central Network. And again, community members, we have our students who are in dual enrollment programs, and some of which incorporate an experiential learning component. Why wouldn't we want them to get on the College Central Network? They have to vie for these internships just like everybody else. We want to make it easy for our students to achieve success and not more difficult. If we are really in the business of removing barriers, then we have to provide resources that people can access and utilize without difficulty. College Central Network is one of those resources. So we are asking you to be our brand ambassadors and tell people about College Central Network.
Please. It should be part of faculty syllabi. Anybody who's on it that's a faculty, I'm going to make my faculty put a box. And you know, when you do your first night where you just go through, this is my grades, this is my whatever, take 2 more seconds and say, before this week is out, you need to go on and sign up and make sure you have an account and make it all part of that.
Right. And like I said, you get, where can you get free resources and someone to critique your resume, professional career development experts to critique your resume, because we don't make a distinction between the community and the faculty when we are looking at the resume. We will send it back. They can get an email from College Central Network that we've generated, asking them to do a couple more things to make that resume professional and ready for employers to review.
Inclusiveness. That's all I can say is I love that. You guys are truly being inclusive. The only area that's really saying we're going to help every single person, so kudos to you guys.
Thank you. Thank you, Barbara.
Thank you so much. This has been a joy and a passion for us. We are very serious about career and career development. And if y'all are on Twitter, you've probably seen my tagline: you can't teach what you don't know, you can't lead where you don't go, and you can't be what you don't see. And we want our students to truly envision success, both academically and professionally, and create that mechanism for them to do so. So College Central Network really does position them well to achieve that professional success that so many students struggle with when they are crossing over from having completed their academic coursework and entering into the workforce. Too many of our students are clueless about what to do or how to do it. And we want to make it easy for them. They have so many competitors out there, and we want to make sure that our Prince George's Community College students can vie and secure these opportunities just as anybody else, because we know our students are some dynamic, wonderful individuals who have so much to give. And our community members who are affiliated with this college, they contribute in their own way as well. So we want to make sure we're reaching back to the community in a practical way and helping them, because again, it's all about this regional impact. Everybody in this county can benefit from this tool because this is Prince George's Community College. We are a resource to the community. So please, if you know someone or think you might know someone who might be in the market looking for a job, they can get an account and use this resource so they can help expedite their ability to secure not an internship, an interview, and ideally a position. So be a friend, tell a friend, get a friend signed up, and be a friend to yourself and get your account activated as well.
That's true. And I just want to say thank you. Thank you for each of you for allowing us to present this information to you this afternoon. Thank you for the wonderful comments that you made in the chat box. Really appreciate that. And we both hope you all have a wonderful day. I think it's one more workshop left. All right. Have a good one. Bye-bye.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you so much.
Yay.
We
Good job, guys.
appreciate you.
Great job.
Thank you.